Hello and welcome to Padai on YouTube channel. This is for the class 7 chapter 4 heat. So in the third chapter what we have learned about the woolen clothes that made from the animal fibers and the cotton clothes that made from the plant fibers. So in this chapter what we are going to discuss about that during the winter we wear the clothes that give us a hot or warm feeling, whereas when there is in the summer we wear the clothes that give us a cold feeling. So what is this hot and cold is the main topic of this chapter. So in our day-to-day life we come across a number of objects. Some of them are hot and some of them are cold. Now tea is hot and ice is a cold, so you can list a certain type of the object which some are the cold and some are the hot. So we see that the some objects are cool while some are hot. So you also know that some objects are hotter than the other while the some other colder than the others. So how do we decide that whether the object is a hotter or cold? So it is obviously when you touch we can find out that whether the object is hot or cold. But is it reliable to depend on the senses that we just by touching it we can sense that is it a cold or hot. So here it is given an activity 4.1 where first you put your hand under the cold water and then you put into the warm water, again you put into the cold water. So similar exercise you gives you a different feeling. So now by going through that we move further, right, that it gets a confusion that we cannot really sense what exactly the the object whether it is hot or cold, right? So then how do we define that thing is hot or cold? So for a reliable measures we use a temperature. So the hotness or coldness of any object is called a temperature, and this temperature is measured by the device called a thermometer. So normally what we use is thermometer to identify the temperature. So measuring the temperature. So have you ever seen the thermometer? Obviously it is used by the doctors. So anyone who got a fever, the temperature was measured by the thermometer. The thermometer that measures our body temperature is called a clinical thermometer. Hold the thermometer in your hand and examine it carefully. If you do not have a thermometer, request a friend to share it with you. A clinical thermometer looks like the one which is shown in the figure. Now this thermometer consists of a long, narrow, uniform glass tube inside. So it has a bulb at one end, and this bulb contains mercury. So mercury is a kind of a metal. Now outside the bulb a small shining thread of mercury can be seen. Now if you do not see the mercury thread, you rotate the thermometer a bit till you see it. So you will also find the scale on the thermometer. The scale we use in the Celsius scale. So it's indicated by degree Celsius. A clinical thermometer reads the temperature between 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degree, right? So how to read this thermometer? So not the temperature different indicates between the two bigger markets. So also not down the number of divisions are present on this. So suppose the bigger marks read 1 degree and there are 5 divisions between them, then the one small division can read as 1 upon 5 or 0.2 degrees Celsius. Wash the thermometer properly, preferably with an antiseptic solution, and hold it firmly and give it a few jerks. So the jerk will bring the level of mercury down. Now ensure that it falls below 35 degrees Celsius. Now place the bulb of this thermometer right under your tongue. After a 1 minute, take the thermometer out of the knot and note the reading. So this is your body temperature. The temperature should always be stated within the unit degrees Celsius. So what do you record in your body temperature? The normal temperature of any human body is 37 degrees Celsius, and this temperature is stated with its unit. Now there is another activity 4.3 where you can ask 10 of your friends and check their body temperature. The temperature of every person's may not be exactly 37 degree. It could be slightly higher or slightly lower. Actually, what we call normal temperature is the average body temperature of a large number of healthy persons. So 37 degrees Celsius is not the exact that every human has, but it's the standard. The clinical thermometer is designed to measure the temperature of a human body only. The temperature of a human body normally does not go below 35 degree or above 42 degrees Celsius. That is the reason that this temperature thermometer has the range between 35 to 42 degrees Celsius. Now let's talk about the another thermometer, which is known as the laboratory thermometer. So the other objects may have a more hotness or coldness. So there are other thermometers. One such thermometer is known as the laboratory thermometer. The teacher will show you this thermometer. Look at this carefully and note down the highest and the lowest temperature it can measure. The range of this laboratory thermometer is generally minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Also, as you did in the case of the clinical thermometer, find out how much a small division of the thermometer reads. So you would need this information to read the thermometer correctly. Now let us learn how to use these things. So in activity 4.4, I ask you to dip this thermometer in the water and the bulb immerse in the water but does not touch the bottom of the sides of container, and hold this thermometer vertically and look at and observe the movement of the mercury, and then after you need to note it down the readings in this thermometer temperature, and that's how you can come to conclude the temperature of the water. Now compare the temperature of water recorded by the students in the class and see what the variation that do you have. Is there any variation? Discuss possible reason for these variations. In activity 4.5, they ask you to take a hot water in the beaker mug and then put the thermometer in and check the temperature of the hot water. Now you will see that though you measure the hotness or coldness and use the accurate information about the temperature. Now, can you use this laboratory thermometer to measure the body temperature? Obviously, it is not convenient to use it because of that purpose. Why? Mercury do not fall or rise in a clinical thermometer when taken out of the mouth. A clinical thermometer again see a kink near the bulb, so this is the to prevent the mercury level falling from that level, right? So that helps to keep the mercury at the place. Nowadays we are using a digital thermometer in place of the mercury ones. Transfer of the heat, another chapter, another topic. So you might have observed that frying pan becomes hot when kept on a flame. It is because the heat passes from the flame to the utensils. When the pan is removed from the fire, it slowly cools down. Why does it cool down? The heat is transferred from the pan to the surroundings. So you can understand that in both cases, the heat flows from the hotter object to the colder object. In fact, in all the cases, heat flows from the hotter object to the colder object. So you can just understand this, that when any vessel or anything or any pots you place on the stove and you start heating up, the handle of it also eventually get hotter. So heat is moved towards the hot area to the colder regions. Now in activity 4.6, they ask you to take a rod and stick the wax on it. Now start heating it by at the one end, and you will see slowly the drops of the wax will melt and fall as we go further. So this process of heat transfer from hotter to the colder region is known as the conduction. In solid, generally, the heat is transferred by the process of conduction. Now, do all the substances conduct the heat easily? You may have observed that metallic pan for the cooking has a plastic or the wooden handle, so you can easily lift even though they are very hot. So what it does mean that not all the objects are conduct the heat. Now there is an activity 4.7 where this says the material which allow the heat to pass through them easily are known as the conductors of the heat. And for example, aluminum, iron, copper, most of the metals, material which do not allow the heat to pass through them, they easily are a poor conductor of the heat, such as the plastic and wood. Poor conductors are known as the insulator. So here the two definitions. The material that allow the heat to pass through is known as the conductor, and then but which do not allow to pass through is known as the insulator. The water and the air are poor conductor of heat. Then how does the heat transfer take place then this substance? In activity 4.8, you can do and find out the more detail. Now, in this, when the water is heated, the water near the flames get hot, and the hot water rises up, and the cold water from the sides move downwards, so towards the heat source, and this water also get hot and rise slowly, and water from the side moves down. This process continues till the whole waters get heated. So this mode of heat transfer is known as a convection. Now how does this heat travel in the air? In which direction does its smoke goes? So the air near the heat source get hot and rise. The air from the side comes into the take place, and this way the air gets heated and flowing. Activity confirms this idea. Now in activity 4.9, light a candle and then observe the flame, right? In if it is wind coming through the place, right, it's try to feel the hotness. So if you put your hand above or the flame, feel more hot than on your hand than the one which is on the side. The people living in the coastal area experience the interesting phenomena during the day, and land gets heated faster than the water. So the air over the land becomes hotter and rise up. The cooler air from the sea rushes in towards the land to take place. The warm air from the land moves towards the sea to complete the cycle. The air from the sea is called the sea breeze. To receive the cooler sea breeze, the windows of the houses in coastal areas are made to face the sea. At night, it is exactly reverse. The water cools down more slowly than the land, so the cooler air from the land moves towards the sea, and this is called a land breeze. These two are very important, sea breeze and land breeze. You must do it again. When we come out in the sun, we feel warm. How does the heat from the sun reach us? So it cannot reach us by the conduction or convection, as there is no medium such as air in the most part of the space. So between the earth and the sun, from the sun the heat comes to us, another process known as the radiation. The transfer of heat by radiation does not require any medium. It can take place whether a medium is present or not. When we sit in front of the room heater, we get heat by this process. A hot utensil kept away from the flame cools down as the transfer of heat to surrounding by radiation. Our bodies too gives the heat to surroundings and receive the heat from by radiation. So all the hot bodies radiate heat. Now, when this heat falls on some object, a part of it is reflected, a part of it is absorbed, and the part may be transmitted. The temperature of the object increased due to the absorbed part of the heat. Why are you advised to use the umbrella when you go out in the sun? Right. So you can save yourself from the radiations. Kind of clothes we wear in the summer and winter. So you know that in the summer we prefer light colored clothes. In the winter we usually wear the dark colored clothes. Why that is so? Because the dark color attracts the more heat. So during the winter we wear the dark color clothes, and when we wear the winter we wear the light color. Sorry, in the summer we wear the light color clothes. In the winter we wear the dark color clothes. So color may affect the temperature, hotness or coldness. The summer, and that's what it is given over here. Therefore, we feel comfortable with the dark color clothes in the winter, and light color clothes reflect the most of the heat that falls on them. Woolen clothes keep us warm in the winter. So in the winter, we use the woolen clothes. Wool is a poor conductor of heat. Moreover, there is air trapped between the wool fibers, and this air prevents the flow of heat from our body to the cold surrounding, and so that we feel the warmness. Suppose you are given the choice in the winter, using either one thick blanket or a thin blanket joined together. So you will remember that you choose the layer of the air between the blanket keeps you warm. That's the end of the chapter.